Hai, Y'all come in and jaw with us at
Pull Up Podcast.
So I need y'all to share this as much as y'all can. First and foremost, you're gonna like the page. Thank you. Second thing, what you're gonna do is you're gonna share. And then after that, you're gonna just appreciate what it is that you have blessed somebody else with. Thank you so much, man. Big that.
Keep plowing.
KBP.
Always be.
I was not ready for this,
Okay,
y'all.
what happened? Y'all worked me out of the...
First of all, get your microphone.
Did y'all work me out of the announcing thing? You put me in it without telling me. Now you worked me right out of it without telling me?
What do you mean worked you out of it?
Well, I'm supposed to start it off.
Well, now we have an intro. Thank you so much, Keaton Icard, our new producer, for making that intro.
Flawless, dude.
When the timer hit, I actually tried to say welcome to Pull Up Podcast. Thank y'all so much, Keaton, for keeping me muted.
And like I said, I need a memo if you can work me out of a little thing and put me into a little thing.
You were on the Zoom call, Scotty, Thursday night.
Y'all, we had our first
I was
donor.
not on it.
We had our first donor of 20 stars.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Lisa Naren, who
Mom
paid for
money.
this whole set.
Oh,
Mom,
wow.
you could have just gave me the money over. Oh, but thank you so much for sending the stars.
Means a lot.
Let's just get into it. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors.
What's up, Logan Cap?
Thank you, Lisa Naren, aka Mom Money. Thank you, US 19 Glue Factory, where quality sticks. Thank you, Together Ford, for the set. Thank you, Monica May Photography, who has nothing to do with the video and audio setup of this, but she helped me get the pieces to put this together. She does not want us to think that, or y'all to think that she's doing the photography here, because she says it could be so much better. Babe, we're working on it. Shout out to Wild Paradise Apparel for the Pull Up Podcast cups, and also the shirts.
Oh, we had a new shirt release.
Yeah, so we got the shirts that say, "Why was I removed from that community Facebook group?" All us business owners sometimes try to go to these community pages.
You like that?
Yeah, all of us, we try to go to these community pages sometimes, and sometimes we're removed, which
We
sucks.
don't know why.
And we don't know why, but
Sometimes we post on the wrong day, and
we're sorry.
next thing you know, you're out. It's like a...
I've been kicked out of places
Don't say too much, you're going to be removed from a couple more.
I need a lawyer.
Scotty,
What?
let's just jump into... First let's address the chat.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Keaton, this looks so clean, dude. Man.
We're evolving.
Thank you, Dad. He said he's colorblind. Thank you so much, Wild Paradise Apparel. What up, Tim Grace? Thank you, Annette, for being on. And again, Keaton.
Tim.
What's up, Tim?
Hold on. Which camera are we looking at?
Over here.
What's that one doing?
That was an extra one to get up. What's up, Tanner Kilty? Okay. But let's move straight into Scotty's word of the day. Scotty?
Name the day.
Okay.
Is it name the day? I'm sorry, dude.
It is walk it right.
Walk it right.
Okay, but I wanted to do that. All the pretty girls walk like this.
How do you walk?
I
Show us how do you
Let
walk.
me show you. I wanted to go. All those pretty girls walk like this. Okay. But anyway,
Okay.
the word of the day is walk it right.
What is that? Dustin, you go first.
What the I've never heard anybody say walk it right.
Yep.
But what it means to me is just the path you're walking, make sure you're walking it right. What's it mean to you, Drake?
Yeah, so I think, honestly, when I think about it, I think like when you walk it right, maybe like whether you're in front of people, you're behind closed doors, you're always walking, like as you speak, you're always doing what you know, or maybe preaching, you're just doing the right thing, whether it's in person, out of person, nobody can see you. So just walking right is the way to go. Maybe I ain't walking right, and that was a sign.
It is.
Scotty, tell us what it means to
Okay,
you.
what it meant to me is when I did it, I used to, work with horses, and the whole time I was working with them, I would keep that in my mind, walk it right, because I wanted to keep them right. The horses don't understand what I'm saying, do they?
Nope.
But it was training me to keep him walking right. So I trained myself. It's all a mindset thing. So I trained myself to walk it right. Cause okay, I called you up the other day, and I was kind of mad at somebody, right?
Oh,
Remember?
yes.
And I passed on that to you, and then all of a sudden you started getting mad. So what I had to do was make up for that. So I had to, and walk it right came into my mind. Walk this thing out right. So I had to forgive, and then I made amends with the person.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah.
And it actually turned out to a positive because
Yeah, and
we're
yeah.
working through it. Yeah,
Yep.
amen, dude.
Oh,
and
wow.
and
So
also,
that's it.
Scotty had the most undisciplined horse on the farm.
No, I didn't.
I know he did. I knew he'd get mad about
Watch
that.
out
His
about
horse was
that.
Gunner was very disciplined, and I think he could close and open the gate by himself. What did he do weird?
No, I could move him with my
his
thumb to
Yeah.
take my saddle off. You heard the story.
I do. I remember Gunner doing his specialty thing. Gunner and Jack were kind of like the core
Nuts. They
pieces.
were nuts. Yep.
But they were the core to our farm because they were the oldest horses we had. I love
Yeah.
Jack to death. That was my buddy.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the only horse I would trust to jump on without a saddle on or reins.
Mhm.
Until he started
I
bucking
would
out
not
there.
jump on without reins on any horse.
He started bucking out there in the field with in front of my friends. Got a little sketchy.
Yeah.
But okay, so walk it right. Thank you so much,
Walk it
Scotty.
right. Everybody loved them dance moves too. Got a few
Oh, did
comments
they?
on it. Yep.
Do y'all want to address the chat before we move into it?
No, that was about it. You got one comment on your dancing, but Amanda said something. Walk Scotty, he is the star. Amanda said. Amanda means.
Oh.
I agree. I agree with that. Definitely 100% the star. So tell me, we got a guest on today. Dustin, I always like to pick you because you really don't know much of our guests.
I know what I hear. I know this lady is just from Facebook stalking her. Looks to be very successful, multiple businesses, avid runner, very smart. And just meeting her a few minutes ago, you can tell that it's not fake on what she's putting on Facebook. It is who she is.
Yeah. Hey, and did you say average or
Avid.
avid?
Avid.
Okay.
I think she's above average.
Okay. I thought you said average. I was
I
going,
mean,
what?
I don't.
Wait till you hear.
No, I think it's.
Wait
avid.
till you hear.
So I just think of KellyAnn. So I met her a long time ago. She might not even remember it, but I met her in BNI, the first BNI I ever visited, and I was kind of new to the business world. And just a big name in the networking group that we were in that day. But then also I started seeing like kind of other things that they were doing and just how successful she was. And then when I think of her, I think of like just mentally strong. And I don't know much about her except what you see in the public eye, but you got to be strong to do some of the things that she's accomplished. And like I just think that's says a lot about her personality. And again, everybody we have on this this stage, I feel like has genuine hearts, and that's one of the reasons why we pick them. So again, very strong person, overcome probably a lot of obstacles. You have to do that to be mentally strong like that, and to talk about some of her success stories. I think you'll understand why I'm saying these things. Mm-hmm. So that's what I kind of think.
Okay, here's mine. I've been meeting with her every Friday for 3 years. And
Let's say a prayer
but,
for her.
But Dustin, if you reach under your seat and pull something out for me.
Yeah.
Dude, you hit something under the... You can't reach that far.
Get up under there, Dustin.
Yeah,
there
okay.
you go.
God.
Behind the table.
Bro.
Your butt crack showing.
Damn.
Okay, hold it up.
Oh, okay.
Ah!
I think that... You know what? I pushed that
Oh.
that under, and I was like, maybe it's the right time.
He's been
Yeah.
waiting to put this bad boy out.
Set it in the back.
Look, I had it pinned up on the thing, and Drake and Dustin chop it off every time. But now HR cannot get on to me,
Yeah,
and the set director cannot get on to me because it's going on the respect table.
The set
Uh-huh.
The set director's cussing in the
I
background
go.
right now.
He can't take it down because
Live.
it means something now.
Yes.
Yes, it
I agree.
does.
It's perfect. Yeah, I
And
think... Go ahead,
we've
Dustin.
had so many, more so than men, I would say. I think it was time for the sign because women in general are leading the world, and we're just here
They're leading my world. Let me just say that. Monica,
They're killing it.
please give me some brownie points for that, babe.
Yeah.
So let's welcome KellyAnn Jenkins.
KellyAnn Jenkins, come on.
Come on.
KellyAnn, we always stand up.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. Thank you for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
And I will say,
I would try to mimic Scotty's walk, but I don't even think I can do it
There
that
you
well.
go.
so-
Oh,
Scotty's
You want
won a
me?
few dancing competitions. You're right here, and you don't have to speak right into it.
Let's do it.
I'm not gonna Scotty you. So just getting started, KellyAnn, tell us you have a couple of businesses, but let's focus on the one that you want to focus on.
Sure.
What are you doing right now, and how did you get into it?
Whoa, that's a loaded question.
Sorry,
That's,
sorry.
So I guess briefly, the big thing I'm doing right now is it's called Spire Coaching and Consulting. And I am working as a life and success coach to help other people with improve their business mindsets, find freedom in their lives, really live intentionally and create a life that they love to live, and reach their goals faster.
That's cool. That's cool. And so, in this, like, do you just find people with a lot of like maybe PTSD of what they've learned, and they got to unlearn it, or things
Oh.
like that? Like, what's the nitty gritty of getting this and changing somebody's mindset?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people come to me because they've had some success in their lives, but they feel like they're stuck. So they're just not quite getting to the next level. Usually what happens with the coaching is we find out that there's some sort of limiting belief, something that deep in the back of their mind has just been holding them back. And then we kind of bring it to the forefront and create a strategy to move past it.
Did you have to ever? I'm sorry, y'all. Go
no,
ahead.
I'm just taking it all in. Go ahead.
Yeah. Did you ever have to overcome obstacles in your life, maybe? And like, we don't have to get into any details or anything, but did you have to adjust your mindset to kind of get to your level of success?
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've had to do numerous times, and even now, it's something I reevaluate. I work with my own coaches because I can't see my blind spots. So sometimes I don't know what it is that's holding me back.
I
So a
love.
coach that has a coach.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I
Oh,
was.
yeah.
All coaches should have a coach. Who won the Masters?
I forgot his
Scotty
name.
Scheffler.
Yes.
Okay,
He has a
guess what?
coach.
He has
LeBron
a
James.
coach.
Yeah.
LeBron
And
James.
he didn't get like a golfing coach. He got a putting coach.
Oh yeah. I
And
mean,
so yeah.
and it's and I think there's something to take from that, because you meet all these business owners, and sometimes older or newer, and they think they know it all, but again, like, we're still trying to grow our businesses, and so I feel like sometimes we have to unlearn what we know, and coaches can help us do that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like when I was growing my first business and getting involved in owning other businesses, I've always worked with business coaches. I've worked with executive coaches and leadership coaches. Just, again, trying to figure out, like, you don't know what you don't know, and that's the one thing that I focus on every single day. I'm like, what am I missing? What don't I know? And how can I figure that out faster? So...
I'm always trying to like create and do different things, so I don't. Water bottle's giving you a hard time. No,
like
Where's
knocking
the
it.
battle?
And look, I've spilled mine about 3 or 4
Oh,
times, and I'll
caps
do
on
it
it,
again.
so.
Okay, I'll
But-
do it again.
yeah, I just think like sometimes you just don't know what direction you want to go, and you get kind of a little depression sometimes, especially when you're stagnant.
That's exactly what happened to me. I found myself at the point in my life where I'd had a lot of success in businesses, but I didn't know where to go next. And I did. I felt a little depressed over it, because it's like, well, look, why? What for, And so I really had to kind of dig deep on that, and it was coaches that helped me through it.
Yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead, Dustin.
Well, just for the people who don't know who KellyAnn is, and you mentioned you had some success already. Where are you from? How did you gain this original success?
Sure.
A little backstory for us.
So I'm born and raised in Florida. I'm a Florida girl.
Okay.
And I, at a very young age, just kind of started achieving. I learned that was how I got validation from the adults around me. And I
Okay.
liked that feeling when I was younger. I think everyone likes that feeling to a certain extent.
Now it's time to get back at them.
Yeah,
Sorry, no,
yeah, so-
I'm a little bit of a rebel. So
well, okay,
you know.
well, but that's one way to do it too.
Yes.
Like my way to kind of get that attention was to kind of, hey, let me see if I can be this
Yeah.
good person and keep hitting these goals. So, you know, by the time I was 23, I'd graduated law school. I was working at a large law firm in Tampa. There were 76 attorneys. Of thus, only 6 were women. It was litigation, so I was in the courtroom all the time, which I loved. But it also meant a lot of long hours, high pressure, a lot of stress, and I didn't really have anyone to look up to. I didn't have any mentors kind of guiding me through that process. And you know, law school doesn't teach you anything about being a lawyer, which is I'm sure, like most school in general, right?
Yeah, agreed.
It's for them to make money. It's a hazing exercise. It's to weed out the people who maybe aren't going to cut it. But at the end of the day, you graduate and you're like, well, now what?
Yeah, no direction.
Yeah.
Someone walks into my office the first day and asks me to do a project, and I don't have a clue what he just told me. I was like, I don't even know where to start.
By the way, you I mean, and I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no.
You're probably really scary in the courtroom. Are you a shark? I mean, just tell me. I feel like I always have to like picture lawyers in the courtroom, and I'm going against them.
My ex used to say, "Don't make me send KellyAnn in. I'm the nice one."
Okay, all right,
So, yeah.
all right.
No, I think I'm pretty nice though.
I'm gonna save all the David Goggins shows, but we got a race lined up with David Goggins out on the street after
Let's
this
do
with
it.
you
Let's
and him.
do it.
But also too, and like you really hit on something. People think like, oh, I want to be successful to make the money, but then the money comes and you can travel anywhere you want to. You can go do whatever you want to, but that stuff kind of gets old.
Yeah.
Did that what you kind of hit?
That's what happened for me. I had made all the money that I really thought that I needed, at least for that time in my life. I was traveling all the time, but something was missing, and that's really when I did the deep work, and this is a lot of what I help other people do too. The key in creating success is that what is it that you want? So I was going after success that looked good to someone else. Maybe it was something that my parents thought was successful, or something that a teacher taught me at a young age, or something that I knew would impress some friends, or things of that nature. And so I really had to take a step back and think, what is it that I want? You know, like, who am I? What are my core values? Like, why am I here on this earth? And how can I have the biggest impact?
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, like everybody says, when you're in school, you know, go be a lawyer or a doctor. And, you know, that's, I feel like, and then also too, I feel like for me sometimes to hit new levels, or like to work hard or find a new level of happiness, let's say that, you know, we all have this hole in our heart, and sometimes we try to fill it with this success, and it's a lot for business owners, but the big thing is finding what makes you happy and realizing you're happy, but it's still keeping those goals there, like to work and grow, but addressing the PTSD from what happened to me as a kid, or happened to me early in my life that helped me overcome mental strength.
Yeah, and that's really important, and it's something that, like, as a coach, a lot of my clients, and I encourage them to work with therapists as well, because the therapists are really going to do that deep work to kind of uncover what it is, and it's more of from a clinical standpoint. And then what I'm doing is like, okay, you've uncovered that maybe this is holding you back, you have some trauma here, but now how do we move forward? How do you become the best version of yourself with that? Like, how do we move past it?
Yeah.
So.
What? You want me to answer?
I just don't want to
You
interrupt
want me to,
y'all.
I don't know. You're on the flow there. I'd hate
good.
to. I had an idea, a question. I forgot it.
Oh, no,
keep
but
a rolling. Do we
Just interrupt me too, like you.
Okay,
No,
can I?
Yeah,
Because
come
I'll
on. Yeah,
interrupt
go
in
for
a
it.
second.
a lawyer come out of her.
I'll interrupt in a
So
second.
let's address this.
Yeah.
Logan Cat said KellyAnn would eat David Goggins. Keaton, our producer, made that joke.
Who's
we told
David Goggins?
Oh.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow,
Y'all never
yeah.
seen him? He's like one of the biggest. He ran for what? 48 hours.
Well, yeah, he created this one. He's done quite a bit, but the
Okay.
challenge you're talking of, it's the 4x4 by 48. So you run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours.
And he runs it in
and that's pretty mild compared to some of the other things he's done. Like that's
he'll go
pretty
run
doable.
in the worst conditions ever. But he's a little brutal, and like maybe there's some therapy sessions that could be in there to fix some of his,
I've read a couple of his books. Like, it's kind of how he pushed himself to be better. Like he needed that. He's one of those just like, I'm gonna go all in, and it worked for him.
He's a beast.
And that's cool. And that brings up a question. I was thinking discipline, right?
Mm-hmm.
And mindset. Which comes first? Mindset, discipline, or the discipline? And I guess the mindset to say, I'm going to do it, which is the discipline, right?
That's a really good question. And I think it depends on the person because, the one thing about discipline is it's really all about creating habits, which again is also a little bit of a mindset trick because if it's something that you do every day without thinking about it, you don't really have to put too much mental energy into it. You're automatically doing it. So yeah, it's a little bit of both depending on where you are, what your goal is, Do you already have habits in place or do you not? Do you have these habits but you're not getting the results? There's probably something up here that's preventing it.
Well, just to let y'all know, David Goggins, y'all mentioned him, what he's done. Can I tell y'all what KellyAnn's done?
Yeah, we want to get into that.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you want to...
I didn't get an agenda memo.
It's in your emails.
I don't check emails. Okay. Well, anyway, I canceled emails out a long time
Good
ago.
for you.
I
quit
would
the
love to do
profession.
that.
Yeah.
I know.
I threw my phone in the ocean before I got here. Yeah.
I still, just not 4 or 5 boxes. I only have 1 box now. Oh, but can I tell you what she did?
Yes, please.
Or she ran 7 marathons in 7 continents in 7 days.
For real?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, I've never ran one marathon.
No,
Yeah.
you won't meet somebody that's done that.
No.
I mean, she's the only one I've ever met in my whole
How do you
life.
rest on a plane?
Yeah, let's hear about it.
When I got by the time I got to the plane, I was pretty tired having just run a marathon and the constant travel.
I bet.
So I took some melatonin. Well, first I'd eat, take some melatonin, put on a sleep mask. And then I was out. I had a watch tracking my sleep. It's probably the best sleep
Drooling all over your neighbor.
8 hours every single night on the flights were probably 12 hours each, so we had the time.
God, that's just insane.
What was your what's your favorite continent to run a marathon on?
So that's
a great question.
It's a tough question, and I think the answer's surprising because it was Europe. Spain was my favorite, and that was the one I was least excited about because I love Spain. It's one of my favorite places, but I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I was thinking, it's nothing really new.
Mm-hmm.
But when we got to Spain, we were behind schedule, so we were supposed to run on a Formula One racetrack. And the racetrack was being used for another event, so they moved us to this small town outside of Madrid. It was called Torre Laguna. I mean, tiny, tiny town. We had to run the marathon 33 laps around the town.
Oh, man.
And it was cobblestone streets.
Oh, my
Up
gosh.
the hill, down the hill, around, up the hill, down the hill, around, 33 times. But what I loved about it was because it was a small town, the mayor came out and he introduced all of us, like the whole townspeople came out. The kids were running laps with us. They were riding their bikes with us.
Oh,
and
cool.
I just felt like we got the real small town experience.
Yeah.
And the weather was perfect that day. So
That's
that
cool.
that
That's-
helps.
Town had your back. and
That's
had
cool.
the route
Well,
and
that
all.
lets you know that when you're in the flow of doing what you're supposed to be doing, walking it right,
Mhm.
things like that happens. I mean, to see that and experience the
I can't
Kids
town
probably were
shift and-
inspired too to
Oh.
see
Yeah.
something
No
new.
doubt.
They hadn't seen nothing like that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, they were like, "Who are all these crazy people?"
Yeah.
People.
Just
They're-
running around our town.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there were 52 of us running. We were from 16 different countries, so
Oh wow.
diverse group of people here. And
That's so cool.
And these, I mean, yeah, this was a small village, so it's not like many of them had probably ever left.
Hardest place you ran.
Antarctica.
Antarctica. I was gonna make a joke and see if you ran there. I
Yeah.
guess I should have counted in my head how many 7 different
Yeah.
continents. But
Antarctica?
Antarctica.
Hold on, that's the south one, right?
It is. It is. Yes.
With
Nothing. but I
below
Just running.
what? Below
And what day? What part
what's
was
below
that? What day was
17?
that?
So-
minus 7.
That would have been day one.
It was colder than mine.
That wasn't day one.
Nice.
That would have been day one for me.
It was day one.
Go,
So
thank
the
God.
way it works, because we travel together as a group, we start in Antarctica because the weather is so unpredictable that if we can't get in, you can't get the rest of the races done.
Okay.
So we all met in Cape Town. I was in Cape Town for about 10 days before the race started, and we were just kind of sitting there waiting for the race director to say it's go time.
That's cool.
And we had to do this whole logistical, I don't want to say like training, but basically like a logistical seminar on what we're allowed and can't do, and getting to Antarctica and what to expect. And the first thing they told us was, don't even bother checking the weather. It's not going to be that. So of course the first thing I did was check the weather, and I was like, it looks like it's going to be low 26, high 36 and sunny. That's beautiful.
Beautiful,
running.
I guess,
like,
in
let's
Antarctica.
go.
Yeah.
So we ended up flying overnight. We left Cape Town around 10 p.m., ended up in Antarctica around 5 a.m. And when we got there, the sun was just rising, ish. I mean, like, it was light. The timing there is a little different, right? So, but it was cold, and the race director was like, well, the good news is that it should get a little warmer as we go on, so get ready to go get changed. They had, like, shipping containers where we were on a research station, and the people working on the research station live and work out of shipping shipping containers. And so we went to a shipping container to get changed and to wait, and while we were in there, I looked out the window and it's full whiteout.
Oh man.
And one of the race directors, and I already can't feel my toes, and one of the race directors walks in and he says, well, bad news, the weather's not getting any better, so we're just going to start the race.
Yikes.
And because it was so bad, we couldn't even run the course. They didn't want us to get lost out
Oh
in
my
the middle
God.
of nowhere.
That sounds terrifying.
So we ran out and back. It was about, I think it was 11 laps, 10 or 11 laps. I can't even remember now. It was, I kind of blocked it out, but it was negative 26 degrees, close to whiteout conditions for portions of it. We had a wind gust up to 50 miles an hour, which was great on the way out because it was behind us. So I was like, oh, I feel great. I'm running. And then you turn around, and it was like running up against the wall.
Yikes.
So I was walking, and my heart rate was at its max on the way back. Like there was no running involved. And then I got so hot and sweaty, my clothes started to freeze to me.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, no,
Okay.
that was really, really challenging, and I didn't have any music. I didn't have my watch on because I couldn't get it to start because it was so cold.
Gosh.
And I remember thinking, like, what did I get myself into? But that's when I had to tap back into that mindset and the training.
God.
And
yeah.
I just kept telling myself, I get to be here.
Yeah.
I'm in Antarctica. Like, most people never get here in their lives.
No.
And then
Don't
like,
plan
I'm
on going.
running I don't recommend it. There's nothing.
I'm not leaving
I didn't
the
know
state.
you could unless you worked at
It's-
one of them research.
Yeah,
places,
there are
you
a few ways to get there, but
Okay.
it's not easily accessible. It's not something a lot of people do. And I just kept telling myself, I get to be here.
Yeah.
I chose to do this. And then I was like, this is badass.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
That's the only way I could keep myself going through it.
know? What a
But
story.
by the time I finished that race, I went back to the shipping container to change. I was so tired, so cold. And I was just thinking, I don't know how I'm going to run 6 more marathons in 6 days.
Oh,
But
so they give you the hardest. Was it the hardest?
it was by far.
Okay.
Keaton
Are there
said-
aliens in it?
You had a serious question.
Yeah, Keaton said, "Are there aliens in it?" I was gonna tell a stupid story.
Go, let's hear it.
About a marathon you ran?
No, not quite, but
Okay.
it's probably it was bad to me. Probably the same mindset she had, but just on a different
I
level.
got you.
My buddy invited me, Cody Wanger. Shout out to Cody Wanger. Invited me duck hunting out to STA. That's next to Miami, where they treat the water like the water is treated. It's not treated. It's treated through all the grass and stuff that's in the water before it comes out into the ocean. So it's like a filtration system. It's hydrilla. Hydrilla grows in water, and so there's a no boat zone. You have to paddle in with a kayak. So we're at 4 a.m. in the morning. We're in reeds and like it's basically the Everglades. And you got to move through the reeds. I'm waiting to see a damn alligator or crocodile or snake. But you're moving through the reeds, and we had to paddle through hydrilla. It's basically like paddling through quicksand. I was lifting a lot of weight then. I was like 230 again, and I was heavy. And we had to paddle out there. Well, we paddled 2 miles. And again, it's like setting a kayak in sand and kind of going through it. But we get out there, we have a great time, but we're pushing the time limit for the next group comes in. So we have to paddle back quickly. Cody, I'm getting on you. He threw all the decoys and everything in my kayak, or it felt like it. I thought they were going to have to helicopter me out of there because I could not get back. I'm telling you, it was the most I just told myself, just put your head down and just power through it. Yeah, but fatigue started setting in. It's unbelievable what you hit in those mindsets.
I mean, like, yeah, it's a similar situation, right?
Not as bad.
It doesn't have to be as, well, people think, oh, Antarctica, that's intense, but it can be anything where you're in that situation, you don't think you're going to make it out. The mind starts, like, it can really play tricks on you if you can't get yourself out of it. But then once you get yourself out of it, it's incredible what you can do to get,
Yeah.
What? So for runners, what would you suggest them do about preparing for the mindset thing?
Yeah, the big thing is to really not overthink it. If you put in the training, the first thing I did when I signed up for this event was I hired a running coach. I had a nutrition coach.
And you had Eric?
Eric was stretching me. Yeah, he was basically a mobility coach for me. That was really, really important to keep me healthy.
That's Eric Wilson. I'm
Yeah.
sorry
Oh, yeah,
about
yeah.
busting. I want to give him a tag because I love Eric.
Tag Eric Wilson. What's the name of his?
Hey, man.
That made me laugh. Look at that, Dustin.
What?
Drake trying to compare.
I know. That's right.
Lives were lost out. Lives were lost out there in that kayak trip.
Okay, but it's Eric Wilson at AE Medical. Am I right on that? Yeah. He works with athletes on massage therapy. Just to let you know, I had to tag him because I love Eric. He supports me.
He was the main reason I kept healthy. So yeah, tag away, please.
Okay.
Eric's
Tag
amazing.
Eric and David Goggins while you're at it.
And then, so funny. And then hitting like mindsets, like there's been times in our business where teammates of mine or people that worked with me or worked under me maybe like thought, man, this is over. And like with our business and like hard times. And in my head, even my coach was saying, well, we need to look at this. But in the back of my head, I said, it's the fourth quarter. I need to power through. We're still in business. We're still going. I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna make things happen, or I'm gonna die until I'm gonna fight and kill myself until the absolute it's over. And so I think that's a lot of things like that mindset. Some people want to give up before it's time to give up.
I think a lot of people start to give up when things feel hard, and this is where I'm going to compare business to running, and it's one of the things that I learned when I was out there running is, when I started running, I couldn't run at all. I hated running. I did it because I'd graduated law school. I had no money. I wanted to stay in shape. I was studying for the bar. I needed to get out and move my body. I was like, I don't know what to do. So I started running, and I couldn't run around the block. I was an absolutely terrible runner. And every day I just kept going. And then I ran my first 5K, and then I was like, oh, I'll sign up for a 10K. And I just kind of kept going until I ran my first marathon. That whole first year still never really felt a runner's high. I was like, this is awful. But people tell me all the time, I ran a 5K and it's hard. And I told them, yeah, running a 5K is really hard. I run a 5K to warm up before I run a 5K because the first 5K hurts so much that I can't actually run it.
Wait, what you do?
Yeah,
what? Oh no. First,
I run, I run a 5K to warm up for a 5K race because it hurts so much those first few miles that you really got to get your body but it's the same. I mean, and here's where I'm going with this. It's the same with business in that you start a business, and as you're really excited about it, you go kind of all in, and then you hit a point where you're like, this just isn't getting the momentum I expect. It hurts. It's hard, and then you stop there. If you keep going, that's when you really get to that point where all the magic starts to happen.
Breakthroughs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where your breakthroughs happen. For me, the breakthroughs in running come about 7 miles into a run.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a 10-mile run yesterday morning, and the first 7 miles, awful.
I'm
10
still
mile
laughing
run,
too.
yeah.
It is
10
common.
mile run in the morning.
You want to come
But
with me,
hold on,
Scott?
hold on. So
And then you just made me cuss. Hell no.
Hell no.
this lady's talking about running 7 marathons and 7 at Drake's hat. I had a kayak half mile downstream. No, so you got Susie and her mom showing up to this Tampa 5K, and KellyAnn's
She's already out there
just
finishing.
ran a 5K.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
running across the finish line as these people are just starting up. What do you think they say about you? Like, what the hell's this lady on?
I don't usually run the 5K like on the race course.
You should.
Right there.
You
Yeah,
should.
you should.
That's a mindset. If you want to win it, which I'd be totally competitive. You wanted to win it, then.
You gotta be on the field.
I gotta pick the right one where I could actually win it. I'm not quite that fast.
Are you a sprinter? Are you fast at sprinting?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Like yeah.
I said, run where you're running. She's the day. I'll race you outside right now.
How many?
Let's get warmed up.
Yeah, I don't warm up. This is a dad
No,
bod. We
that's
just
right.
jump right into it until we
I'll
pull
go
a
barefoot.
hamstring.
I'll go barefoot. Let's do it.
Hey, I'm a country boy. That's how I run my fastest.
Yep.
2 questions. How many turkey trot t-shirts do you have? And the second one is, have you ran the Boston Marathon?
I turkey trot t-shirts. I have
67.
0.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I ran my first turkey trot
Oh.
this year, actually.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, so growing up, my family's over in Daytona, and for a long time, they didn't really have a turkey trot.
Okay.
So I was trying to find one, and we were always over there for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So I ran one here this year. It was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
I used to go to turkey shoots.
Yeah.
Same
Does
thing.
that
Okay.
matter?
Same thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
behind the
sure.
grocery store in Lumpkin,
Yeah.
Georgia. Shout out to Lumpkin, Georgia turkey
All
shoot.
the people show up with a little shotgun.
Outback, yep.
For real. And then Boston Marathon.
Yeah, I've run
Boston
it
Marathon.
twice.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's the Boston Marathon's one of my favorite races because the energy in the city is just amazing. It's a holiday, and so everyone's out in the streets and they're cheering you on the entire way. And I usually will fly in on Friday. The race is on Monday, and there's something every single day.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Looks like a party.
Super cool.
So I like for people to plug their business. So tell the people, how did they get in touch with you?
Yeah.
Who are you looking? Like, what's your ideal client?
So my ideal client is going to be other women attorneys.
Ooh.
The reason being an attorney, I kind of know what they're going through, and I think there's a level of relatability there. And I also have empathy for what they're going through.
Not sympathy, empathy.
Empathy,
Love
yeah,
that word.
yeah. And so I can really kind of, if a lot of them come to me because they're like, oh, I'm either feeling stuck where I am in my career, or I'm trying to get to the next level, or I'm spending too much time in my career and I'm neglecting my personal health, my physical and mental health. I'm neglecting my relationships, things like that.
I'm getting
So-
hammered right now
Yeah.
for that. So me and Monica are working through that, and I got upset at first, but I understand where she's coming from, and we just need more time for each other. So we're working on it. Communication is one of my PTSDs
Yeah.
that I'm working through, and
Hallelujah.
so I want to be better at communicating. We had a conversation
Woo!
today, and she could just tell how uncomfortable I got, and I kind of like move away from her, and
Yeah.
like she's like, just talk to me. I'm like, it's
It's
okay.
hard.
I said,
It must be a family
Shit,
curse.
you
We're
know?
fixing to have to cancel that out because when I try to share my feelings, I open my mouth and nothing comes out. And my wife's deep when she talks, and
yeah.
I can't share my feelings.
And how come we can share our feelings on this podcast, but it's hard for us to talk to our spouses about feelings? Is that y'all notice that?
Well, hold
Like-
on, I've changed.
Okay, sorry, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
pulling me into y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all answer that
Annette, please
question.
comment on the live if he could do better.
Do better in that.
I just saw her pick up her
I
phone.
have
By the way,
done better. We
she's still
talk
typing.
at night.
Her fingers are
Here's the
smoking.
thing. This is a great place to start, right? If you
Yes.
can share it here, there's no difference. It's,
Babe, I love you, and I'm working on not working on my work so much and work on us more than I work on my work.
But I enjoy my pillow talk with my wife. You know, lay down at night, you in the bed, and you just talk to each other.
Okay.
We got 3 kids. I have no idea what it's like to lay down.
Yeah.
I've already
God.
told you,
Young
I've
ones right
already
now.
directed you on that.
Thank you. I'm buying your book today about
You
parenting.
can. You can.
So, has there ever been a time in your life that, like, you know, okay, so before you started the coaching, was it hard for you to start the coaching? Was it a scary thing to start that and put it out there?
It's I think it's a terrifying thing to start it and put it out there, because I had gone along this path of, you know, I'm a lawyer, and then I transitioned that into I'm a businesswoman, and yeah, it is still business, but the coaching is a lot of me. And when I work with my clients, I have to put, like, I have to really be like physically present and give a lot of myself too. So it's scary, and it's also scary to start over. It no matter what, no matter how much success I've had in the past, I'm doing something new. I'm learning something new. You know, I took courses, got a certification to learn how to be a better coach, and it's something that I think every single time I work with a client, I learn something new, and I really have to open myself up to knowing that the way to learn, the quickest way to learn, is to try something and to fail. So if I try something and it doesn't work, it's not a big deal.
No.
But
coming off of, like, you're a highly successful lawyer, and now you're not hitting the same strides in coaching, it's scary. Like, I've started a networking group. I've started this podcast. Again, the same thing, putting that out there and afraid of what people will say, you know? But they're also, too, like, you know, I don't know. It's just weird.
I think being afraid of what people will say is what was driving me for most of my life, and I'm working so hard to separate myself from that and not really worry about it, because the people, like, when you show up authentically, you're what was the phrase? Walking it right. And the people who are meant for you will show up, and those who aren't won't, and the things that are aligned in your life will also show up. Yeah. So
I don't get a lot of likes on this from Georgia and stuff of people, but I did look, and the most people that watch this are from Georgia. But again, like, it's getting thousands of views, and there's people that maybe just not like it as much, and, you know, stuff like we've been deleted off Facebook before. But, you know, we just want to do the right thing, and I think if you can overcome that what people think mindset, I think you can just be highly successful.
Yeah.
But it's such a scary thing at the same thing.
It's terrifying. It's something, because I think it does get easier as you get older. I think that's just part of life too. But it's one of those things. It's like you start to question why don't they like me? What did I do? Is it something about me? And you really, the first step, like when I'm working with my clients, is making sure that they accept themselves and that they love themselves. Amen. And then you don't really worry about it as much.
Yeah.
And
I always had that question too. Do they like
you gotta
me?
get a microphone, buddy.
Well, my bad.
Mind,
My bad. I always had that question too.
Does
anyone not like you, Scotty?
I've never met
people
one.
There's people who do not like me. There is people.
Name them right now. No.
But anyway, you know what? I can't
even see that. Scotty, I can't even see that. But we did talk. Scotty, I can't see anybody not liking you, but we did have a phrase one day that Scotty named the day, and it was always be plowing. Mm-hmm. And he said if you... Yeah, I thought the same thing. No, if you turn around and look while you're plowing, you lose course. And so I really love to, like, keep myself really busy in my goals or my family, where if those people don't like me, I don't even have time to think about it. I'm just focused. So I don't know.
Logan Cat don't like you, Scotty.
I believe him. I believe it.
After what Drake did.
I love you, Logan.
He's too busy running around shirtless with Ryan.
Okay, yeah, with the Speedos.
Yeah, I didn't say.
He got that. I did.
Oil up, Logan. Oil up, Logan. No, but I think that's the hardest thing is, like, in a lot of people, again, discovering when you were a kid, what really affected you, and then overcoming that mindset of caring what people think. I think people could conquer the world.
Yeah.
And if you look at the highly successful people, they don't give a damn what people say.
Yeah. That's what they tell us, though. Do they really?
Yeah,
I mean,
they do.
I think they care, but they also,
They can.
I think it depends on who you're talking about. For some people,
Yeah.
it deeply bothers them, but there are other people out there who are just like, the more haters, the better. It means I'm doing something right.
That is the truth, yeah.
And I know this, and I'm not getting political.
Put your
y'all.
finger down.
We know
I'm
you're-
fixing to talk, right? Okay, so I don't have to remember.
I'm scared of
But
what you're going to say.
I am not getting, I know,
Not getting
I am not getting political. But
But-
Donald Trump cares about who says something about him because he attacks them.
No, that's true.
Or he fires back and defends himself. Let me
But
put
it
it
seems
that
to
way.
work for him, right?
Yeah. I don't
No,
know.
it don't.
I feel like- well,
No,
I
it
think his
don't.
supporters like
Okay. No, it don't work for him.
Okay,
But
well,
that's just him. I mean, and how did I say that?
Why
did I say
one
that?
thing that I
Go.
wanted
It's
to
actually
do,
a valid point.
I'll jump on this. One thing that I wanted to do is like, I got in trouble drinking and driving, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. But I did want to get shirts made with my mugshot on them that say "Free my homie Drake," and just wear them just because like that was something I really overcome in my life. I had to bike 7 miles from here to there for work, and our company did $1 million that year, and I was biking. I had to bike at 5 a.m. in the morning so nobody saw me. I was scared somebody's going to recognize us and be like, "Why?" I had a computer on my back. I almost went and ran 7 continents, 7 marathons.
See, if you overcome something like that, then what does it matter, right? You can do whatever. I mean,
Do whatever I
yeah,
want.
yeah.
So I'm getting
You
the
didn't let it
shirts
stop
made
you?
on Monday.
Didn't
Yes,
let
I'm
it
getting
stop
the.
you?
It's the worst
Right.
mugshot ever too. But
And this lady out here running 10 miles a day, and he had to bike 7 miles every day.
it was on Monica's bike, and it was not designed to hold me.
No.
Yeah.
If you ever got a phone call from Drake mid-bike trip and heard that wind in your ear, my eardrums ain't the same.
Oh, sorry, dude. I
Did
sent a
he
lot of
call you?
videos to my
Yeah,
friends.
Mid-bike trip.
But yeah, I think that was a special. It was a special thing that I need to overcome, and failing forward is a crucial thing that I heard you say.
And
Yeah.
that's funny because I used to drive you around during that time.
Yeah, it was
Fine
tough.
ride.
And he'd
Rides,
bike
yeah.
over here, and
I
I'd
lost my license
put
for
him in the car. And
a year and a
I wouldn't go
half.
pick him up.
Yeah.
I would not
So
go pick him up.
running a business. It was a nightmare.
I could imagine.
I'm sure.
And you could have just been like, okay, well, I guess I'm done, but you didn't, right? So it
Yeah.
sounds like you learned quite a bit from it. It's like I said, failure's a really good thing if you learn from it.
My customers are paying me $1,500 a design. I'm showing up on a bike. No, I'm just kidding. No, I didn't. Yeah, on a Huffy.
I'm gonna have to hire that boy.
Scotty was riding on the pegs. Yeah.
He needs the money.
God.
Damn.
No, the handlebars. Remember?
Oh,
Okay, back a
handlebars.
long time ago. I don't know if y'all remember,
Yeah, I do.
but we'd sit on the front handlebars.
What year was that?
A
I was born in
long
91,
time
so-
ago.
I was
It was,
born
but were you?
Mhm.
They had the pegs on. Remember the pegs
Oh,
on the
yeah.
bikes too?
We didn't have pegs. We had
They
handlebars.
had wooden
We
bicycles
sat
with
on
wooden
the
wheels.
handlebars.
Man.
So KellyAnn, if somebody can't hire you, what's like one piece of advice you would give to those people that are struggling? What's something that you would tell them right now? Like, there's a lot of business owners. We're going through a tough time right now. I feel like a lot of people feel that. What's something you'd say to them?
Well, I think to kind of play off what you were talking about with, the idea of failure is that I honestly believe that you cannot fail. And I believe that failure doesn't exist if you learn something from it. So the question is, okay, something's hard. What did you learn from it? And how can you now be better? But then I think the other point, if they can't hire someone, we'll go back to Scotty's sign here.
Oh,
She believed she could, so she did.
That's right.
If you think you can't do it, you're right.
Yep.
You're absolutely right. You cannot do it. But if you think you can do it.
Go chase it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like all this stuff is just like, is it gonna happen? But again, you just keep chasing it. ABP.
And you can't be on someone else's timeline. Sometimes I think people get so fixated on the goals and they're like, oh, someone else did this faster than me, or someone else is already having this success, or what if I've been going after this goal and then I don't reach it? what about the journey? Focus on like the everyday. What are the things that are, why are you excited to get up and do this in the morning? What habits have you built to make yourself better? Like when I was getting up early in the morning to train, I didn't even think about it. It was just something I did, and I looked forward to those runs because I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Like I'm doing something big. Didn't matter what the goal was at that point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great one.
Yes, because I know my wife does the same thing, and she talks to me, right? And
Does she?
And I actually listen.
Oh, amen.
But she has those questions. You know, what am I not doing? What do I need to do better? And she's always trying to get better.
Yeah.
But she has those questions too. What am I not doing? You know, it's frustration or something. So,
But I believe we're right where we need to be.
Yeah.
And if we do have that positive mindset, sometimes it's like you do say, okay, I'm doing everything right in business. I'm a good person. I offer a good product. Why not me? You know, why this person? But you do have to throw that out. And one thing having kids is life is speeding by. The older I get, life speeds by. And remembering to enjoy. Okay, so we're sitting here right here. It's been a long week. I had a Professionals in Tampa meeting, little networking group I have. Southerns, I'm so far behind in that, but it's going great. And family's doing great. Like, wow, everything right in this moment is perfect. I need to really enjoy this, take this moment in, and slow down time instead of rushing through life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Y'all ever do that?
Yeah.
It's hard, but yeah, you have to, for sure. And I had a question for you too, KellyAnn. Being so successful, so young, lawyer, taking all these cool trips, 7 continents, and you mentioned earlier that at one point you didn't feel happy. So here, April 26, 2024, what is happiness to you?
Great question.
That's a really, really good question.
Thank
Because for me, I found that I find happiness when I'm living aligned with my core values, and I've done quite a bit of work to figure out like what are my core values, not something that someone else says are their values.
Yeah.
And for me, it's perpetual growth. As long as I am working on growing, I find happiness in that.
Okay.
Freedom. And freedom means a lot of things to a lot of different people.
Ooh.
For me, it's that feeling. It's just knowing that I can do what I want when I want to a certain extent. Like I have control over things, and that's a whole other topic on control. Because you gain control, I think, by letting go of control.
Yeah.
Community, build like having the right community around me. And then one of my other big ones right now is adventure, just finding fun things to do.
Awesome.
But I have found sometimes I'm the happiest if I'm, sitting somewhere out in nature, maybe watching the sunrise, spending time with my dogs, journaling. It's the more slow paced lifestyle is I find a lot of happiness in that.
Good
Just
for you.
being able to spend time like with myself. And
I love it.
Yeah, my dream is to go to Oregon or Alaska and just kind of disappear a little bit. And the older I get, the more that seems happiness to me, living up in the woods. I don't know about the snow, but everything else is slowing life down and taking it all in. Monica loves to go to sunsets.
yeah.
That's one big thing that I need to do a little bit better job at. I took her to one this year so far. Need to get a couple more, but
It's hard.
yeah, just slowing down and enjoying life. This money and stuff doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean crap. And like it's not going to make you happy. A lot of us are chasing it, but I just feel like it's not the way of happiness. It's a man-made thing,
No, it definitely didn't make me any happier. If anything, it had the opposite effect.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And when I say, I just think we need to get this out there. When we say KellyAnn was highly successful, you were highly successful,
I mean,
above the normal average and stuff like that. Sometimes I don't think people realize the people we have on here are just how successful they are. And you've basically done it all so far, and now you're still looking to achieve goals.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking to achieve goals with a big focus on making sure that I have a greater impact. It's for me. I found just so much happiness in. Yeah, like I said, like slowing down and being able to help other people and being able to help other people kind of find their passion and their purpose and finding that peace within themselves, that freedom, helping them get to the next level, whatever that is. Like when something clicks and it feels good, I just like to be along to help people do that.
That's cool.
So.
Giving to others to give to yourself
Yeah.
is like what I think happens. Dustin, what do you say?
We just had some maybe I saw
Yeah.
Aaron said something. He said his problem as a business owner is I'm not mean or I hate confrontation. So when a client doesn't pay me, I just take the L. Is there anything we had to add to that? Or?
You got to set boundaries, Aaron,
Yeah.
and maybe KellyAnn can speak. You need to make a SOP where if somebody doesn't pay you, this is what happens.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. That can be a hard thing. It's actually pretty common for people to not want to talk about money or to not ask about money. A lot of that's part of the mindset too, and a limiting belief around money. But one of the things that I have implemented in another business, I noticed that was a problem with the person who was collecting the money, and so I just put someone else in that role.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe is there someone else or someone you could work with? You could hire someone that maybe
Hard nosed. Yeah.
they don't care if they get told no. And one thing I would say as a coach, if someone comes to me and has that issue, it might be around the money, it might be around being told no. And so I would challenge you to maybe every single day intentionally go into a situation where you're going to be told no, or go up to random strangers and start asking for money on a daily basis.
Okay.
Because-
Yeah.
Just to
Wow.
see-
Just to see what they say. You have
Rejection.
nothing to lose. Like, let's face that rejection.
Yeah.
Let's start talking about money and
When y'all see me dressed
Well,
up
I
as
know.
a homeless man
Well,
on the corner asking for money, just know what I'm working
They
for.
get money.
They did.
yeah, they do.
Don't get.
Yeah, they
You got
do.
Scotty started.
I know.
Let's not go down that
That's
route.
actually a hard job they do.
Oh,
I don't want to
stand on
most people
US
don't wanna do-
19 on the
I'm scared to be
asphalt,
seen on a bike and they're out there asking in the middle of the red light.
degrees, and the cars running by the exhaust. That's a hard.
They could run-
job.
They could
So-
probably run 8 marathons in
Yeah.
7
I-
continents.
Yeah,
No.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing.
It is.
And also like Aaron, what she said is a great question. What if you just paid somebody $20 to collect a $1,500 or $2,000? Like,
Well,
and-
Or give them a percentage, like, hey, for everything that you collect that's outstanding, you get 10% of
Yeah.
it, or
Well, there's,
depending on your business
collection
model.
agencies
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
do that.
damn, I owe Aaron money. No, I'm just kidding. Damn, I owe
Either
Aaron
hire
money.
somebody or
Yeah.
hire a collection
I didn't-
agency.
There are always options.
Yeah.
Always options.
Wow.
Are we out of time?
We're
Yeah,
getting there.
we
had
are.
a 5-minute intro, so we got 3 minutes left.
Oh, is that how?
Yes.
know.
Yeah, we do.
5-minute intro before the.
Yeah.
So one more time before we
Okay.
move in the last closing minutes, how do we reach you? Where do we go to? Where are we going to find your stuff?
Yeah, the easiest way to reach me, my website's up. It's spirehighperformancecoaching.com. You can fill out a little questionnaire if you want it. It goes directly to my email. But I'm also really active on social media. I would say the big ones are Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'll
and
find
I just
you on there.
on my personal page. I operate through my personal page because
You had a
I'm
good
trying to
following.
not hide behind the business. Like, this is me coming out
Yeah.
there. So
Well, and I'll go find your stuff. Please go like and share her stuff. That's huge, y'all. If
KellyAnn Jenkins.
And like and share this podcast.
100%. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I posted a status the other day, like, y'all are sharing all this stuff about celebrities, and I'm sure they didn't
I
say
saw
thank
that.
you. At least
Yeah.
I'll say thank
Right,
you.
we'll get
I'm
you with
expecting a thank you when I share your stuff, and I don't
Oh,
see
bro,
it.
well, you're a part of it.
Well, you got the dang thank me.
I should thank him.
Any more questions as we're in the closing?
I've really enjoyed it. I've got a lot more, but not enough.
I had fun.
I have fun. I love doing this. Like, so thank you guys for having me.
I love your shoes. Honestly, I've been
Thank
looking
you.
at them the whole
Yeah.
time.
They shine.
What kind of shoes are they?
I mean, so they're Christian Louboutins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if y'all didn't
They're
think I was
nice.
successful.
Yeah, yeah, those
All
are
right, I'll
nice.
ask, how much were they?
Yeah, no.
I'm not gonna answer that.
Oh, she finally turned me down.
I'm not gonna answer that.
I got mine from Payless. No, go ahead, Scotty.
I just have one thing to say.
Say
A while
it,
ago
buddy.
when I giggled, I didn't mean to giggle.
Sometimes when
And
y'all
it
giggle
was-
too,
and
I don't
you
know if the
looked at
guests
me,
think
and
y'all
you
are
looked
laughing
me,
at.
But I had the mic right here because I was doing something, and I was thinking, I sure hope Dustin don't poop.
Right to the microphone.
Hey,
Okay, that's why I giggle. So
That's
you can
okay.
cancel that out.
Keaton,
in your
clip,
head.
Keaton, clip that and post it on TikTok. Please go like and share our page. Let me give our shout out to our sponsors one more
Yes.
time. Get your cups up, boys. Get your cups
Oh
up.
yeah.
Shout out to Lisa Nairn, aka Mom Money. We got our first stars today.
Yeah.
Uh,
we hooked it up.
Shout out to US 19 Glue Factory, where quality sticks. I had 3 people ask me where that location was. Shout out to Together Ford for the set. Monica May Photography, which she did not supply us the camera. She wants me to let everybody know that. Wild Paradise Apparel. Shout out.
Yeah.
Cups.
What were you going to say?
Okay, so Monica May Photography thinks we're on like
Okay.
down low, or does she think we're up high?
When we
Because
were having
she
all
said
that camera
she don't
problem.
wanna like our stuff.
We had all the camera problems. She didn't want people to think that was her.
It wasn't her.
Understandable.
It was not her.
Well, that's what she didn't want
Okay.
people to think because she's a
Okay.
photographer.
Okay, so you should have explained that on one of the shows.
I just did. Thank you
Okay,
for
thank you.
clarifying. But
All right.
KellyAnn, it's been a blessing here. One more time, tell us how we reach you. Phone number and email. Do we email? Do you email?
You can email me. Yeah, it's KellyAnn at spireonlinecoaching.com.
Cool. And we're lining up the David Goggins race.
Let's
We're
do
doing
it.
a fundraiser.
Hey, yeah. Is there a challenge? Did you just say you're going to challenge David Goggins, or you wanted to run?
No, I just promoted KellyAnn to run.
Apparently,
Okay.
I'm racing.
Yeah.
KellyAnn Racing.
David, yeah. Somebody tag David Goggins
Yeah,
this. You
David,
never
where
know.
you at?
What's his LinkedIn? Thank you so much for being on. I don't really know how. Oh, shout out to Keaton Icard too.
Keaton, you killed it.
Oh, man.
Producer.
Keaton,
We had
Did
Keaton.
so
you took us to the next level.
really
I had a meeting last night till like 9:00. I got home at 10 or 11. We had meetings to get this up and running till like 12 or 1 in the morning.
It looks so great.
Y'all
cut
two
out.
It does
canceled.
look
I'll
great.
cut
I'm
out
impressed.
early.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Keaton, for making it happen for us, dude. We love you and we appreciate you so much. So, again,
I mean, I can't get over all the crap going on the
That's
screen now.
wild.
It is
Give me
so
my
crazy.
props. Oh, Andrew, thank you for the stars.
Yep.
Andrew sent us stars.
No,
Thank
he
you.
didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
he
We
did.
appreciate you, dude.
Andrew, I love you. You're a big-hearted person.
Whether you want people to know, I don't know how to
Yeah.
end the show now since I don't,
I don't
control
either.
that.
I know
Keaton,
it.
what do we do now?
What's up, Keaton?
Do we
just
say bye?
peace sign it and then you end it?
Do we say? Do you do the intro again?
No.
By the
What are
way,
we
the
doing,
intro was
Keaton?
killer.
Throw up the peace sign. And
What do
It's
we
like
do?
we're just
How
gonna sit
do we
here.
get off? We might.
Just
should've
tell
put
me
that
when.
in there.
When
Plan.
do we say? Hey, do we do the pull up pod? Thank you for watching. Pull up.